What is going on, guys? We're back with another video today, and we are doing another rebuild in Madden 19 Connected Franchise. It is a realistic style rebuild of the Minnesota Vikings. We have not done a single rebuild of them. I think we did do a 10-year sim maybe a month or two ago, but an actual rebuild we have not. The Vikings, start of the season, look pretty damn promising. You know, with them, the Bears kind of on that horizon, and of course everyone thought the Packers would still be pretty solid, even though the injury thing. The NFC North was looking like one of the best divisions going. However, the Packers and Vikings kind of underperformed, so here we are trying to fix them up. The biggest thing anyone could say the Vikings need, without a doubt, is an offensive line. Now, here we have Mike Hughes, who's young, Alexander, who's young, Trey Waynes, who's kind of young. However, I kind of want to replace Trey Waynes. He needs a contract next season, and I think we can get him traded for probably a decent offensive lineman. We could work with even younger guys than Trey. Kind of, let me see, 24, 21. A little bit lower, of course, but he's going to provide the most trade value, I think. So let's see if we can get an offensive lineman, maybe, perform better this season. So we trade Trey Waynes, Anthony Harris, and a second-round pick for Laramie Tunsil. However, I do not think we should have had to give up such a high pick. So what we're going to try and do is get back a second round and give them a third instead. And that's exactly what we do with Remmers and pick 73. I think we might have swapped picks with them, though, which, I don't know. I can't tell who that's going to really benefit. We'll see. Don't really like the number 3 wide receiver on the team, but Laquan Treadwell, of all the guys, has the most upside because he's still somewhat young. 23, 24 years old. Running back Xavier Murray is the backup. I mean, already just with that trade, we became a better team, technically. Mike Hughes and Alexander are both on the training with, who was it? We might have actually put O'Neal on there as well, if I'm not mistaken, which, wait, I got to make sure we don't have, I think Eric Kendrick should be on there for sure. So we have negotiations. Sheldon Richardson wants a 4-year deal. Why do I feel like they just got him and yet he needs a contract again? They sometimes let him go, but I think we're going to keep him. Very good player model there. I don't understand how some guys are just insane and others just way off. Anthony Barr, I think, is definitely worth the money. They thought so in real life as well. Anthony Barr thought so as well, as he last second decided to come back to them after almost heading on to a nightmare situation. I'm sad, though, because I wish he would have left. Let's see. Latavius Murray. He's not bad, and you usually do see them re-sign him, if I'm not mistaken, but Dan Bailey. This is a realistic rebuild, after all, so with the Vikings' woes, Dan Bailey was kind of a little bit of a savior for them, so I think they're going to have to keep him here. Some of the other guys, though, will probably replace. So I have no idea how good we are doing. I know how we were like middle of the pack before. The second half of the season is going to be the most important thing, and it leads to a playoff. Okay, I'm honestly a little surprised you made the playoffs. 10-6 across the board. If we're going to be honest, even the Packers were 9-7. I think you got to put the Packers in that list of 10-6 and then switch the Lions. That would be an insane division, though. 10-6 across the board with a 9-7 team being the worst. It's pretty clutch. Speaking of clutch, the end of the season was nice. The first portion, what did we lose? Like 5 games in the first 6? MVP Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, 3,100 touchdowns. 3,100. Try it again. 31 touchdowns, 12 picks, 4,200 yards. I feel like that's kind of similar to what he did in real life, no? Stephon Diggs, really? I don't think that's a dev drop in my opinion. Thielen, I just don't see it. I know the touchdowns aren't there, but over 1,000 yards, that's the important part. If the running back runs the ball in a bunch of times for touchdowns, what do you expect? Sheldon Richardson, that's a dev up. Definitely worth signing him because now he's even better. Picks, Dan Bailey got a contract for a year, and he was horrendous. Once again, I'm a little shocked that we're actually here, so I'm going to be happy about it. 85 overall. Not the worst in the world. Offensive line, it might have been Tunsil. It could have been Tunsil. I mean, you can't tell me Tunsil isn't good enough with this lack of offensive line talent to at least lead to one win. If we lose one game on the season that we already, won, we obviously missed the playoffs. I think Tunsil was the difference between being a playoff team and not being one. I think he made a bigger impact than Trey could have. Unfortunately, making the playoffs does mean we are going to have a bad draft pick. I don't know if you've seen that, but one of the players was spreading their cheeks, which is hopefully what our team does to the Eagles. Haha, you see? See it all full circle. The circle we're talking about is something else here. First half, Eagles come up with the only points. I can't really say I'm too mad with it. Here we are in the third quarter, scoring 7. Defense for them, forcing a turnover. It appears, you know, with 12 minutes left, we're still in an okay spot. 3rd and 13, we give up 12, so it is going to be our ball. Very, very pinned here. Nice conversion. And on 3rd and 12, look at this. Laramie Tunsil, you suck. Terrible decision. They're going to definitely score on this drive. Maybe not, actually. The defense is clutching it up. Just like in real life, the defense bailing them out. I got to make sure they're going to go for this. And on 4th and 1, they lose 4 yards. How do you, on 4th and 1, lose 4 yards? That's impossible. You have to be the worst team in the world. They're wasting a bit of clock here. I think at this point, with minimal timeouts, you might as well try and take a touchdown if you can get it. And Thielen, he's pretty damn open. And how was that picked? Excuse me? We put a floater on it just so he could get over top. I didn't think Kirk Cousins was that weak to where it would take 4.5 hours to get there. 1 yard away from the hash mark, the ball finally lands. What is that? 13 yards to the side? Probably more if we're being legit. Yeah, not a great performance. The Eagles, they're a good sim. They got potential as a sim team. They usually don't do very well in sim, though. Dalvin was trash. Of course, Kirk Cousins was trash well before we trashed it up even more defensively. 24 points isn't bad. It's not bad at all. Hughes with a pick. That's why you trade Trey. Actually, let's take a look at the kicker because our kicker has been missing a lot. None today, though. Didn't have the option to. 14 points only. Headed to the Super Bowl. I don't even know who's going to be here. The Eagles usually don't make the Super Bowl. However, in this universe, they do. So there's that. I didn't do a realistic, not a realistic, a real-life roster. I think I kind of want to save that for teams that are bad, just so we can actually get one of the players. Like here, I know we missed, we didn't make it far in the playoffs, but what pick are we going to have? I mean, 23, 53, Haddad Hike. I don't know. The Dolphins must have did pretty damn well. They must have been very similar to us, huh? Or maybe we actually got our pick back. I didn't even think about that. I kind of randomized it. Dolphins did pretty well. I mean, I think we did have their pick. We just slightly did worse. Or better. I don't know what you want to call it. So here is the free agents that are upcoming. Of course, if we were going to go Latavius, we would have had to do it before then. Amir is not bad, but if we did want him back, it'd be just as cheap to get him in free agency, so I'm not really worried about it. Looking around, I don't think there's any guys that we must keep. Even the punter, it's special teams, even in real life, not super hard to get when they're not. When you have one of those great guys, yeah, you want to keep them, but when they're above, they're just average, it really doesn't matter. Tevin Coleman, I think he'd be a good fit for this team. It kind of fits as that Latavius Murray type. How much are we offering him? Are we offering him near what he's asking for? Yeah, we can't do that. I don't know exactly what got into me there, but I definitely can't do that. 5-year, $22 million deal. I think that's fine. We're going to try to pull a cheese move. I actually put an offer on Daryl. Okay, so the cheese move, but I didn't really get to say it. The cheese move was that I offered him 118 points, which was about 5 under the, I believe, Redskins. So there's that. So it is possible to take a guy for much lower, which is, I mean, you could twist that argument all you want, that wording. Ty Montgomery, I think he'd be a perfect fit for the Patriots, but a team like the Vikings could be a close second, I think. So we're going to go with Ty here. If we can get him, get a nice backup, we'll be set for the rest of this rebuild. I really don't know the direction of this thing yet so far. I'm not really certain of how we're going to do. Well, we think we know what we want to do. If the tight end's there, we might take him. If he's not there, we can't take him. That's kind of how that works. Definitely not trading up, so we can just go down regardless. There's a little bit of players that we can work with. So Chargers, Charleston, Gibson, draft board. All right, so is the tight end gone? I don't even remember putting him on the list, in fairness. I think he is gone, though. No, he's still there. Mid-second, Tommy Gratz, man. It sounded like I was giving him a compliment. Tommy, please be a god. Quick dev, 82 overall. That overall makes him obviously worth it. He's a very good player. starter caliber, we can try to trade Kyle Rudolph off. So the Bengals are willing to move me to 80 and then give me 112, which might be able to land me one of the players that are a little bit later. So we're going to take that. I think we're going to have to find ourselves a way. Let's go to the next round. Oh, this isn't real. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to make sure. Maybe everyone's just crazy. Damn it, it was a guaranteed contract. It was an $84 million guaranteed. So the quarterback is off the what is it called? Off the board here. There's no chance at him. So we trade 73 next and Johnson for a third and a fourth this year, because I think he's actually going to be a huge steal. So let's take him now. 76 overall normal. That age is rough considering his dev is normal. He's workable, so we'll probably put him on the training and make him the number 3, see what we can do with that, which is fine because we only need one guy anyways. So we lost the middle linebacker. Now the middle linebacker I regret hard. Ellis Kuntz. I don't even know if that's whatever. That linebacker I miss. I really, really hope he was not good. So we drafted lots of players. For once, you can kind of say we kind of had a realistic draft. We had 3 third rounds, a first round, 2 fourth rounds. I don't remember who the hell we had, like a linebacker we kind of wanted to see how good that guy was. This was actually a pretty damn good draft, just in general. Oh yeah, we wanted to see the quarterback as well. So the middle linebacker was some sort of white dude. I know that. What about the left outside linebacker? I don't even remember. If you guys see him, maybe... Oh, here he is. Capanos. Connor Capanos, normal dev. Probably still worth it, honestly. Here's the quarterback, 78 overall, normal dev. Don't regret it one bit. Obviously, he has good enough traits to probably be a good quarterback, but someone I'm not really mad about. This is definitely the middle linebacker. Normal. So the guys we missed out on weren't really guys that mattered. I like it. I like finding out that we didn't make a mistake. It feels good. So I'd like to think we got better, right? I mean, our overall definitely seems like we got better. We did get a new right guard, so we'll slap him in. Kind of fits as a right guard. A little bit tall, but I like it. So our offensive line is definitely a lot better. You know, the tackles are the best positions on the team. Rudolph is probably going to get traded. The question is, what the hell is Rudolph even worth? You know, older type tight ends aren't really that hard to get, so I'm not even quite sure. Linval Joseph needs to be repaired. Needs to be fixed up soon. I don't even know what the hell I'm even saying at this point. I mean, really, if we're looking at players that we can trade, it would really just be Kyle Rudolph, which, once again, I don't know how much that's worth. We trade Kyle Rudolph to the Cowboys for a third-round pick. I think that's... I don't know. I mean, a third-round pick's not even going to do us much anyways. We're going to give him 2 fifth-rounds as well, so that should even it out decently. I'm very happy that we got that tight end because he's very... Well, he's not very young, but he's younger than Rudolph. He'll be here for a while. Once again, we did get better, so that's the main importance. Hughes and Alexander developing a little bit. We have Rouse now. Rhodes is 87 overall, but he's definitely about to regress hard next season. So we should have another playoff season. The question is, well, how far will we make it, though? So we do have some negotiations to work with. We have Laramie Tunsil, no question about it. We're going to sign him up right now. Honestly, just counting the days until we can get rid of Kirk Cousins if we're being truthful. Mackenzie Alexander is kind of the guy we've been prepping up to be, probably the number 3 cornerback for a while on this team. So we're going to give him a 5-year deal. Maybe overpaid him a little bit, but it wasn't really that costly. Who was the other guy that we were... So Sendejo, I don't think it's going to happen. He's 82 speed. He's 31. Headed to playoffs. We made it last season. Barely. This season, we have a bye week. 11-5. The rest of the division definitely took a step back. The Lions probably should have been like that last season. Kirk Cousins, is he the guy now? I don't know. He's a superstar dev. Of course, even with superstar dev, he's really not upgrading himself too much because he's on the older side. Dalvin... is he going to lose his dev? He does. He's down to normal. Yikes. Diggs, a lot of yards. It's probably not going to be enough. Should be enough to keep. Oh, he actually went up. Actually a little surprised by that. Thielen might be finished. Didn't lose dev, so that's good. Tommy Gratz goes up to star. Makes sense. 800 yards, 8 touchdowns is pretty damn good. Mahoney is quick dev. I mean, I'll take that. Defensively, Sheldon Richardson with 15.5 sacks. No one else with really anything to show for, though. Anthony Barr Hughes is nice. All right, Xavier Rhodes, what's your development? Quick. Kicking, Dan Bailey will not be continuing his journey as a teammate of the Minnesota Vikings. Very, very bad season so far for him. The Redskins. All right. I see how it is. Pitting us against our 10-year sim team for the week. All right. If you say so. 88 to their 83. I mean, if you want it, come and get it. Almost accidentally click kick, which would have honestly, like, when I accidentally, it's very rare, but when I actually click kick and it forces me to, like, go in, it honestly kills me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm just that petty, but it's honestly, like, the worst thing in the world that you could have ever thinking of. You know, you can think of running out of water and food and never, you know, and dying out. It's right up there for me. I don't know why. It just is. But here we are. I would slow sim it, but we kind of are killing them. This is some of the highest points I've ever seen in a playoff game simmed. 51 points. We usually don't even hit 40. Kirk Cousins. I will say we did change the scheme. I moved us to... What did I move us to? Oh, yeah, I moved us to Atlanta. I feel like this team's kind of built a little bit like them. They have, you know, two decent... You know, I mean, they have Julio is really good, and then a guy next to him was okay. I figured we have two really good guys, which kind of equals out to that super god, above average combo. You know, I feel like both teams are very similar. Both run a 4-3. Like Hughes is a god. You know, it makes a lot of sense to me. So I went with that. We didn't even get Ty Montgomery, did we? Let's make this last second addition if we can. Is there any running backs? So Ty doesn't want to join us, but so he'd rather just sit out the season. Waited all this time. He's just being a little sleazer, waited for the conference game. What a little sleaze. 88 overall to their 86 overall. Obviously, we're the better team. That's how math works. What is Mike Zimmer smiling about? If he has another bad season, the Vikings are probably going to fire him. Defense doesn't do a great job there. Offense is doing very well, considering the defense is just choking it. We've gotten touchdowns almost every drive, even though it's been kind of rough on us. Defense finally makes a stop. Here's the chance. Finally, a little bit in sync. You know, defense does well. The offense does well. Please get a touchdown, and they do. Down by 2 still. Defense makes a play. Daniil Hunter with a sack. Offense with a clutch 3rd and 11 conversion. This team is pretty damn good. 2nd and 20. Great play. Please kick the field goal. Dan Bailey, the scrub himself, takes the lead with a kick. A minute left, and they're driving. This is not good by any means at all. We're going to lose this game, aren't we? And with 8 seconds left, we kind of choke it. Hopefully they kick a squib here. They don't kick a squib here. Mahoney, don't know why the hell he's returning kicks. 8 seconds left. We are going against that team. Hey, Diggs, you got to get to that corner, my man. He does get to the corner. That's a pretty good throw. What's the flag? Is that a late hit or is that a out of bounds? Is that illegal touching? Please be a late hit. Oh. Don't tell me he caught that and it's a penalty. Wait, what? Oh, so they're saying unnecessary rough. Give us the clock back then. If we don't get enough time to launch this, I'm going to be sad. Kirk Cousins probably doesn't even have the arm to get there anyway, so we need to get a little bit of clock, and we're just not even getting the thing off. We had to run because we were in trouble. I think we did. I don't even know if we did it. Man, I actually thought we were going to make a play there. I really did. Kirk Cousins, it's not even his fault. I really don't know what's going on here. Kirk Cousins had a masterful game. I don't care what it says. Better than Drew Brees. Kind of, not really. To be fair, that accuracy is beyond belief. Mahoney did very well as a youngster. Could have a future with this team. Defense just didn't come up with enough plays. I mean, you look at the comparisons, it's a close game. That would be one hell of a game to win this. I would say nobody could go home angry. I don't think you could. Ooh. Did we miss a kick? I got to go back. I mean, Dan Bailey's gone no matter what, so it's not like going back is going to hurt his career. It's just going to make me even sadder. I didn't even look. He didn't. Okay, we definitely seen it. I just glanced, and I'm not even going to be mad about not getting the throw off on the Hail Mary. If I was a fan, oof, they lost. If I was a fan of the team, I would be livid. That would be like, it would be, you would be kind of mad in fairness. I didn't really think about that, but finishing the season on a sack rather than just a chuck to the end zone, you'd be like, why did he just throw it? So, well, Kirk doesn't quite have the arm, and the receivers weren't super far. Actually, they kind of were far. Not really liking any of the guys we have to re-sign, so we're going to let them mostly go. $14.5 million. We have a really interesting situation now because Kirk Cousins is actually a guy I want to keep. I actually want him to start now because he's actually been playing out of his mind. The real question is, where is all the money? Like, how much are we paying these linebackers? Is it an unbelievable amount? Is that what it is? Okay, obviously Kirk is making a lot of money. We're not going to argue that. Everson Griffin is kind of making a lot of money here. May replace him. Very good chance to replace him. Xavier Rhodes. Can't really get rid of him without hurting the team more than helping. Linval, please. We lose about 3 mil. Okay, so there's a couple of guys here that are really killing our cap. Can I really touch any of those names though? I don't think I can. Well, let's sign free agency. Yes, sign free agency. Let's just sign the whole agency. Is there anyone that we can replace a guy that is kind of expensive? Like Shaq Thompson, he's an 83 overall. We can replace Gideon, not that he's making a whole lot of money. But Shaq is asking for a lot. You could see the low balls. Cowboys, it makes sense. I'm going to see how low we can get. You know, if it gets to that $5 million a year mark, I definitely would pay him. Well, let's go to the draft. I don't even remember what the hell we have. Well, actually, first let's see what we get. I think we did offer Shaq. Shaq actually accepted. All right. So if we're being honest, I'm looking around, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing in the draft class. Well, we have a lot of positions. Who are we going to actually get? That safety is probably the best safety in the class, though. So even though he's a late first, he can go top 10 if you really needed to. Let's listen. We have pick 30. We have the worst pick in the draft. That can't be him. If that was him, I don't even care because I am making that trade up. Here's the guy, 84 overall. Oh, my Lord. What do they need? Ooh, we can do that. I think that's worth it. You know, he's a late first round talent quarterback. I'm going to make that argument. Don't judge me. Who's that guy? Oh, we seen this guy earlier. He is very freaking good. I can't do it, though. This safety is just pound for pound one. Oh, that's the wrong guy. This safety is pound for pound one of the best safeties I've seen, like, ever. And that has officially gone from opinion to fact. I know the hit power is a little low, but 76 catching, 88 excel, 89 speed, 86 zone coverage. What a beast. One of the best safeties in the league coming straight out the draft. Now, this trade I can see being fair. You know, we do move up, you know, kind of hop a full round here from basically the 3rd to the 2nd. However, we do get rid of, you know, Gideon, who's, what, 25. He's definitely still... Is he 25? I actually can't remember. I think he's around 25, though. He's a little bit on the slower side, but I think if he has star dev, he's totally worth it. He has quick dev, 79 overall. A little bit slow like we expected, but honestly an absolute beast of a talent, and I'm not exactly sure why he slipped. I mean, look at the man in zone coverage. This guy's actually kind of a freak. He's actually very good. Obviously, the speed is a little low, but I think he makes a great replacement for Everson Griffin. And really the biggest thing we need to do now is replace our DT. But I think we're going to take him anyways. Terrible pick. I knew it was going to be as well. I couldn't help myself. Carroll Tanner, please be good at DT for us. 76 overall, not a bad pick. 21 years of age. A little low on the strength, good power move, rough block shed. There's not really many players that I can think of that I wanted to take a look at. The main one being that quarterback, just because that guy's potential looked among one of the best I've ever seen. I don't remember what his combines, like his speed was, but he was very good. Obviously, we landed a really solid player as well. Not super fast. Hudson Brennan, only star dev, but look at the accuracy stats right out the gate. Only a 65 break sack, however, so it's a little bit rough, but obviously he's a very good quarterback, completely worth the pick for the Bills. Here's Richie Henry, I believe the older, decent coverage linebacker. Who was the highest overall in the draft? Brennan. Then you have left outside linebacker Tyrone Sayers. I believe this was the run-stopping guy. It appears to be so. He's decent in coverage, though. He's a very good player. Our guy was number 3, though. Here's Dylan Holloway, 2nd round, pick 6. Very good player. Dev is a little bit lacking, but obviously an amazing talent. 90 speed across the board, basically. 21 years of age. Really good. Look at the catching stats, man. He could pretty much play a slot receiver if you wanted him to. Star dev, I don't know. Maybe it made, you know, makes sense for him to play slot. Be debatable. Of course, 88 overall. We have to move some players around. Kind of wish we would have went that wide receiver, that slot guy, but We decided to go with the lineman instead, and obviously that was a poor decision. Linebacker core definitely took a big step forward. We have to move Asher to right end. The question is, does he automatically replace Griffin or not? Griffin, I don't know what the cut cost will be, but he's still an 84 overall, so unless Asher makes a really big push, 79, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Griffin, how big is he? He's pretty big, isn't he? 273. Let's move him to DT, actually. See what kind of a loss we take here. A little undersized for DT, I must say. Come on. 82 overall, that's not really great. But it's better than not having him there, I suppose. Oh, it's not going to be a problem. See you later, Everson. A season with Curry in practice with starting. He's going to be like a 92 overall by the end of the season, even if he sucks. I think I'm actually cool with all three of the guys there because Tanner could develop as a DT for us. I mean, we're going to put him there, but I don't know how well it's going to go for him. So we have negotiations. Dalvin Cook. Adam Thielen is a guy that you're going to definitely have to wait on just because we have to make sure we can afford him. Damn it. Dying. But mainly the affordance is he worth it? 4-year deal is probably not worth it. Well, I mean, let's just give him a 1-year deal. Let's go 2-year deal right now. That's completely fair for him. And everything, I don't agree. I think that's completely fair. Eflin probably, or Elfin, I keep calling it Eflin. Elfline wants a contract. He's decent. I don't know, though. Probably, but I don't know. Kirk, I think, would be an after the season as well because he'll get a little bit worse, a little bit older. But honestly, I didn't have any intentions of signing Kirk again, but he did really well last season. He's doing really well. Really good in the playoffs, so I think we may give him another season here. All right, headed to the playoffs. I think if we make it here, it would be 3 straight playoff trips. We do make it. We get an 11-5. I don't know what's going on with the division, but I am pretty damn happy with it. Are we winning every divisional game? Lost there. We lost to the Bears, and I think that was the only divisional loss. Just glancing over. MVP goes to Todd Gurley. How good was Kirk? I mean, another pretty damn good season for Kirk. That's definitely contract extension worthy. Dalvin Cook. Decent, I suppose. Ty Montgomery, a couple touchdowns. Gratz, is that a superstar dev I smell? It is a superstar dev. What a beast, man. That's a really good season. Almost 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Reed Mahoney, that's a dev up, right? How do you go to quick from a worse season than this and doesn't go up again? That's a normal dev. So, unfortunately, Adam Thielen's career is probably over with us. Might be over in general, honestly. I don't know if a team would even sign him. Defensively, all right. So, please, Asher, have a great season. Not bad. 9.5 is perfectly fine in my book. Does he go up in dev? He doesn't. That really sucks. He's still okay, though. Mike Hughes, there's a reason why he's been so good all these times. Just killing it. Just killing it every season. Loses no. You guys actually were on board with the whole fix their dev if you notice that it's stupid. Because that should honestly be... I'm going to give him superstar. And it's going to hurt us because he needs a contract next year. But if you factor he was star and he dropped a 6-pick, 92 tackle season from a guy that, it's kind of on the undersized market and he's young... That's a superstar dev. I'm sorry. It just is. Curry didn't even have a great season, but like we expected, over 92 overall. It's just too easy when you have superstar dev. You're basically guaranteed a god player as long as you don't, forget to put him in the damn lineup. All right, so it's simming to the next week. This should easily be. The first win should be a win. First game should be a win. Falcons. All right, so here's the best chance. I would say right now is the best chance we have in the next 5 seasons to win a Super Bowl. Because we're going to get older, the guys are going to get even more expensive, which is kind of crazy how that works, but it is. Which is kind of why I forgot about that. It's one of the big ones. I don't know how that's not on my wish list. Restructuring contracts. All right. Another one I added was contract holdouts. You can't, have it one way where it's like, oh well, if they're not playing well, they should take less of a contract. But then at the same time, say we got a guy that's 70 overall on a 7-year deal. And he's playing like a god and becomes a 90, and he doesn't want to. He's going to just keep playing in that contract. Nah, there's got to be holdouts, which sucks, but it has to happen. It'd be kind of cool anyways. So I think it would make for more interesting franchise videos as well. Up by 7, the Falcons kind of coming back a little bit. Here we are going back. This is some legit. We are falconing ourselves against the. We literally just pulled the Falcons versus Patriots against the Falcons. They're like, where have we seen this one before? You've seen it in the Super Bowl. Look at the pick. 6 for guess who? Mike Hughes. He's on the thumbnail. Had no intentions of it before, but he's playing too well not to be overtime, and they have a chance to win here. A fumble. Mike Hughes is a god. Mike Hughes is a freaking legend. He could be the best corner we've ever seen. If anyone in the comment section typed, "He doesn't deserve superstar," you better delete that comment right now. Do not disrespect Mike Hughes. It was a good game by Kirk Cousins, but just in the fourth quarter to overtime alone, Mike Hughes obviously deserved the MVP of the game. There's no question about it. Mike Hughes had 2 picks, a forced fumble, a recovery, and a touchdown. And he didn't get MVP of the game. How is that even possible? And like half of those were in clutch moments, so they meant even more. I don't know. You don't get to overtime without Mike Hughes, and you can say, oh, you don't get to overtime without Kirk. Well, his job is to score. Mike's job isn't to score, so he went above and beyond. I feel like Mike is deserving of an apology. I really do. Great, the Eagles. Going against the Eagles in the championship game, 92 to their 90. Interesting. We might do like the traditional 3 players on the thumbnail, and then just have Mike in the middle being the bigger of the 3, which would be ironic because he's actually really undersized. Like there's nothing that can make me hate Mike from the rest of this thing. There's just nothing. I could come into the game at the last second, and we need to make a clutch stop and see Mike choke it. It doesn't matter. He's been too legendary in Sim for the regular season, and then obviously last game for it to change anything. Here, this is going to be a really tough comeback, but it's good start. Fourth quarter, we get the touchdown. Defense holds up. This is Kirk. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, it was a turnover. It wasn't Kirk though. I think it was it? I swear it was Kirk. No, Ray Asher, nice play. Offense has got a lot of opportunities with the way the defense is playing. So just come up with some points here, and that's a huge one. I don't know who caught that, but I would guess Diggs if I was going to be honest. Defense is coming up with huge sacks. Yes, huge ones, massive sacks in the clutch. We have overcome a 20 to I believe 3 deficit. Up by 4 now. They're going to punt with 3 minutes left. I was about to say they might not see the ball again. They are going to, but the defense locks them out. And with one of the best fourth quarter comebacks in recent history, maybe even championship history if we're going to be honest, the Vikings advance to the Super Bowl. We expected it to happen. We are a very good team. Kirk appears to have almost choked it. I can't lie. But obviously, we're here, and that's the main importance. Kirk Cousins about 340 yards. Kirk, you threw 4 interceptions. How do we even come to the conclusion that he had a 92 passer rating? I don't even understand how that's possible. I don't get it. Dalvin, he was pretty damn decent. No fumbles in that. Mahoney, I don't know how he's doing so well. He just is. I don't know what overall even is. Danielle Hunter was god tier. Carroll Tanner was great. Asher, he had a very clutch sack. I remember seeing that. Unfortunately, no picks from our boy, but still, we win the game. And wow, I can't believe we overcame 4 interceptions and still won against the Eagles, who have a great defense themselves. How is Reed Mahoney only an 81 overall? I don't understand that. It was going to be the Texans probably, right? The Browns, just as bad, if not worse. Probably worse. DeMarcus, 1 season. We only have the slider at 200 for that. 1 season, our boy Curry's already going to be maxed. I might start rocking hybrid soon just because even though he's a great safety, corner is definitely going to be a bigger issue for us. And there's no doubt that it's not only easier to get a safety, a star safety rather than a good corner, but it's also more important to have a good corner than it is a good safety. At the end of the day, you can be the greatest safety in the world, but if you have a cornerback that is constantly getting burned, if they're not going deep into your zone, it doesn't matter, does it? If your cornerback's getting slanted up all day, it is what it is. But if you have an insanely good corner and the safety really doesn't have to participate that much, put him in a blitz. Almost anyone can blitz, right? That's probably not true, but still, I believe it and I say it. There we go, tied up. Halftime will be, it was tied up, but obviously they score. This is not looking good. There we go, huge touchdown. They're going to score again here, though, and it's going to be a touchdown. So 14 points in the fourth. We've overcome worse. What are we worried about? 3rd and 10. I know there's lots of clock left, but I just don't see. It's not even about it being hard. I think I just don't see a point not to. Gratz, he's pretty damn good, right? He's a tight end. They're just leaving him wide open. They overran it. Gratz is huge. Like, Diggs isn't that small. He's like, what, 6 foot tall? But look at the comparison. He's a beast. And the whole thing about Kirk Cousins, I know he's probably going to lead us to a Super... Well, I don't know if he's going to lead us to a Super Bowl win here, but has a chance to lead us to a Super Bowl win here. I don't know, with a guy throwing that many turnovers in the playoffs, you can keep him. I just don't think you can. I will say, when it comes to last second tries to overcome adversity and win the game, him at the helm, I don't know if I'd want someone better than him. What? You hold him to a field goal, you just need a touchdown. Going to Gratz again, and as much as it's not an easy catch, it was catchable, and it would have been a first down. The defense gave up a touchdown anyway, so you can make the argument that you wouldn't have had the stop, and I hate the offense. Watch this. Watch the clock. Because that's what happens, right? That's what happens. The clock chews with 30 seconds left. Barely even get the ball off. Mahoney, if he catches this, we're sim winning. Okay. If you would have called that, I would have paused it. That was sim 1. Browns beat us by 10. That was a very high-scoring game. Kirk Cousins, I don't think can remain the quarterback. I don't see how you can let a guy who throws 3 picks stay as the starting QB. It's not something I would feel comfortable with. I just don't see it. No sacks in the game, which is kind of surprising. There was 1 pick on the team. Who was it? Who? Mike Hughes? What? No way. Not him. Kicking McManus. McManass. Is he serious? 2 missed kicks. We were down by 3 at one point. Completely changes the game. We would have went up by 3. Oh, we wouldn't have thrown the ball 3 times in a row. You've got to be joking me, McManass. Well, that sucks. We have him for another 3 years anyway, so that's disappointing. Where's the clutch, man? Like, can we just clutch it up? I don't know who the hell you are, but I think he's actually pretty damn good. I'll get him back. Why not? I don't even know who he is, but he's okay. Trevor Siemian, no thank you. Adam Thielen, I would love to give you a 1-year deal. I don't know what the tag is going to be on him. Like, I'm giving you a decent bit here. He's not interested. What's the tag? 14 mil is quite the expense. Eflin, we probably should have re-signed when we had a chance for cheaper. Sorry, Kirk, not going to happen. Adam Thielen is definitely going to get the tag. A little late on Eflin, man. I don't know what to say. I'm going to let him go and just hope we can get him back in free agency. If not, maybe I should have given him an offer and maybe he would have accepted it. Who knows? Probably should have done that. I regret everything. Once you click that X and A, it just... any sort of chance you had, completely gone. So, losing a few players, we dropped to an 89 overall. We need a new center. Could get him back. We don't have a quarterback, so I'm surprised our overall is not a little bit lower. Defensively, I think linebackers are fine. Safety, probably need to replace Harrison soon. Rhodes isn't even number 2, maybe not even number 3 worthy. Might try to trade him off or put him at safety. I don't even know. 36 mil to work with, so we can afford a few names if there's any in here. Cooper Kupp, a little on the older side. There's a lot of running backs here. Just don't need that position, though. Evan Ingram. We do have Cam Newton. I'm actually really intrigued. Like, I don't think it's the smart move. I'm always for grabbing a quarterback. But at the same time, Cameron Newton would be kind of fun. I think we're going to offer him what the Bengals are kind of offering him. And if he joins our team, I'd be very happy. Cam Newton. All right. The new quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings is Cameron Newton. Car crash survivor. Big mofo. That's all I know about him. That's it. Could be the final season, depending on how it goes for us. Is Cam Newton going to make the thumbnail? I think the only way we cheese the thumbnail is if he has a monster season for us. So, here's the hoping Cam can do it. I would be very ecstatic with it. Mid-first, Craig Green is very solid looking. How do we get to mid-first? I don't know if that's even possible because he could be a top 5 pick, and I think he probably will be. The potential is just too high for him not to be, honestly. Harrison Smith, a first round this, a third round this for 14. I think it's completely fair. Harrison Smith still playing at a high level. We just don't tolerate the old people, do we? Craig Green, he's a bit tall, bit beastly. Quick dev, 80 overall. Obviously not going to develop as quickly as the previous guy, but once again, another really good safety pick for us in the draft. Making the trade-ups from 31 isn't an easy move, but it has worked out for us nicely. So there's a couple of guys we have in the second round, but we can't really trade up exactly this high. So we're going to go to next round and hope at least one of those guys is there. Please, one of those linemen be there. And everyone's gone. Bye. Rayshawn Hill is a late third. Definitely worth the pick. Both are gone. They're both late thirds. Math is hard, isn't it, EA? For real, man. Wow. That is really disappointing. I did not expect to get cucked that hard. Late third. It's the late second. What does that even mean? Okay, so in fairness, we actually skipped our pick because I completely forgot we had to pick 31. We did end up with one of them. So I'm stupid, and he was a great player. I apologize. I apologize. Pick 17 will be a left tackle that does not deserve to be picked there. However, we have very little options, and we'll do what we're told. Never mind, he's star dev. What we call is that steal. Words are hard. Roy Jenkins, holy crap, he's trash. Oh my, he's actually not that bad as like a user quarterback though. You know, when I see low overall like that, I think automatically bad. But 88 throw power, 85 speed, 88. If you could switch the agility and the speed, he'd actually be one of the best like user quarterbacks I've seen in a while. So the biggest thing we needed was kind of a quarterback, but at the same time we had Cam, so it wasn't a necessary need. We needed a wide receiver, but we have Thielen, so it was just kind of a future thing, just like Cam. So honestly, if we do another season after this season, we could just go for another random quarterback in free agency. We drafted 2 great safeties. Of course, Dennard with Star Dev will be playing corner. Everyone was great except for Jenkins, who, you know, Jenkins was the only guy we really didn't plan on taking. I have no idea who the hell we wanted. I know it was a wide receiver. Is that we were going to look? Let's just look for that guy. He's like the only one I can really think of right now. Who's this guy? Banks McGill. Normal dev, even though he's faster and he could play both positions, I think our guy was better just as a pure strong safety. So I think the wide receiver we were crying about was a bad player. So I super apologize now. Potentially going into last season, like we said, 90 overall. Mahoney really hasn't developed, even though he's had really good seasons. This left tackle, who's star dev, will now be our new center. We have like 250 sliders for O-line because I think you kind of have to put it at that. Even maybe 300 because it's just such a hard position upgrade. He's a star dev. If he's not at least a 78 over by the end of the season, I give up on developing players. It's just impossible. Of course, we do have that safety who will more than likely be playing corner. He did have like better man coverage anyways. Was he a tall guy? I can't remember. Let's go with number 26. Another short guy, but still he's okay. I mean, Hughes is short, and he's one of the best corners in the league right now, so call it what you want. Williamson is very freaking bad in overall. But because he is star dev, he's automatically better than Marquise. Marquise? It's Mackenzie Alexander. Okay, I'm smart. Xavier Rhodes is a definite trade option. I think we're going to try to trade him in like a 4th for a 3rd or something. I don't know. Didn't really want to go for the best pick in the draft, but Xavier Rhodes was basically only interested in them, or he was only being interested by them. It's very interesting to go to Cam Newton, though. This is going to be really interesting to see what happens here. He's not the most accurate of quarterbacks, but his name is Cam Newton, so I'm hoping his name is enough to bring us to the playoffs, maybe even the Super Bowl. So we have some contracts. Mike Hughes, for some reason, not really having that much to work with for money. I don't know why he's not getting offered more. We're going to give him a 7-year deal because a guy like him could easily fit as a free safety. Honestly, we could probably, I mean, I don't even think he can go to 8 years, but if you could, I would go to 8 years. Totally worth it. Brian O'Neill. We made a mistake last time not signing the guy right away. However, he is asking for just about $10 million a year. Pretty damn close to, at least. So I might hold off on that a little bit. Cam, you know, asking for the typical I'm old, but somehow I'm worth a lot contract. Maybe spoiled the seat. Oh, Jesus. That's not looking good. However, we have a lot of upgrades, so we could turn it around. Pretty much have to win 4 if we want to win or make the playoffs. We do. We won 5 straight games. Maybe even 6. I don't know. Maybe we won 7 straight. I don't even know. Cam Newton definitely played worse than Kirk Cousins. Oh, Dalvin did really well, though. Cam Newton just makes every running back around him better. Receiving, Diggs was clearly his favorite guy. Goes back up to star. Gratz is definitely quicker star. Yeah. Thielen, I mean, he's going to remain. Mahoney is just, I mean, he seems like he was doing really well and just really hasn't upgraded much. He's an okay guy. He's going to fill in okay for Thielen once he retires or quits the team, whatever comes first. Sack totals, not really much. Asher, 9 sacks. He's consistent, I guess. Williamson, dev up, please. No, but he is a very good overall. So, holy, 88 actually. Okay, I mean, we have the cornerbacks on about 205. We obviously had him as our cornerback in the practice stuff. We'll take a look at that center, actually, because if he got a lot, maybe that practice is huge. So I want to take a look at how good Kirk Cousins played, if he even started a team, which, let's be honest, he did. So his yardage was, I mean, he really didn't play much better than Cam, but obviously he played for a worse team. Kirk, he's a great regular season quarterback, and even, for the first 2-3 years, he was really good. Or first 2 years, he was really good in playoffs, but then he just choked it, man. I don't know how he did, but 95 overall to the 91 overall Cowboys. We're basically the best team in the league right now. So honestly, even though I'm not a huge fan of Cam, I think if we make the Super Bowl, we'll probably end it there because I just don't think we're going to get much better. We did really well in the drafts. Honestly, if you guys also agree that it was pretty realistic, I think when it comes to realistic rebuilds and actually making decent drafts and trades, I think this is one of the best draft/trade, realistic rebuilds we've ever had. I think we did really well. We had bad picks. We traded decent players, even though they're on their older side of their careers, with decent fair value draft picks for good players. I mean, I think we did a damn good job with making it fair, and obviously also taking really good talent every time. We had 3-star devs in 1 year, I believe. Not bad at all. And here, obviously, we're just dominating the Dallas Cowboys. Nothing anyone's going to complain about. Didn't have a bye week, so, of course, we're going to have to win quite the games to make it. Cam Newton, 0 picks, 3 touchdowns. You actually do see Cam join the Vikings here and there. I know it's, rare for anyone to pay attention to that, but I pay attention, okay? Eric Kendricks with a pick. Surprised it wasn't Mike Hughes, one of the best corners in the league, if not the best. So who was our corners, actually? So Williamson did make a number 2. Green, he really didn't develop too well. Quick dev, still it is. Hey, what about the center? Not bad at all, 80 overall. I mean, that's pretty good. We got rid of some of the guys that were a little expensive, and we just did a really good job, I think. So here, 15-1 Rams. I don't think they're going to be a 95 over. They're 89. They're all bluffing. They're all fluffies. Didn't even know what the hell that means, but we said it. John Johnson, I know you were young when you started as well, but Curry is just unbelievable. One of the best, upgrading free safeties I've ever had. I mean, he's really even played super well. Houston is 16-0. That is not a very common sight in these rebuilds, I will say. To my knowledge, sometimes I don't pay attention to the other teams, but usually I will. And huge run by Dalvin for the touchdown. Down by 7 again, though. Offense has many opportunities to score. We finally get the 3. Start of the second half is going to be a 7-point deficit. We get 3, man. These field goals, the field goals would be fine if we would have got that field goal before half. We had a couple opportunities. We were in the red zone twice and only got 3 once. Defense just saved the game. If we go down 3 possessions this late, I don't think it's possible. You got to get in. 4th and 3. They missed the field goal. Brandon McManus is terrible, man. He's absolute garbage. Oh, huge play by Cam and company. All right, well, I'm going to let the AI play it out. Hopefully they can play some defense. Can't play some defense, we lose the game. All right. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do here. Do we want to play another season? We can't really get a whole lot better. Cam was kind of bad. We probably should have drafted someone. Interesting stuff. Definitely letting Cam go, though. I think we're going to take a look at what the free agency quarterback class is like and the rookie quarterback class is like. If neither look like they have a guy, I think we're going to end it, not going to lie, which is very rare. That's a rare position for us. We usually say, okay, we didn't make the Super Bowl. Okay, we did make the Super Bowl. It's over. That's not the case here. The Rams versus the Texans. The Texans, who were undefeated until that game, lose to the Rams. What a disappointment. Thielen is still going strong, and O'Neal actually went up in overall. He's an 83 overall. That is a guy that I think is kind of earned a contract. I know it's going to hurt us. He's going to play till he's 31, but it's definitely worth it. Adam Thielen, He's asking for how much? $25 million. I will give him another 1-year deal worth like $10 million. If he doesn't accept this, this game needs to really work on itself. Well, you would like to play for a new team. And unfortunately, at $15 million, you will be playing for a new team. That's a little too high for me. Maybe that 3-year at one point was worth it. Well, actually, no, you wanted a 4-year. Never mind. You play until he's like 33 on the team. That's a little too old. Leighton Vander Esch, surprisingly, isn't really asking for as much as he normally... I mean, he's obviously asking for it. He's just not getting it. Michael Gallup, we've seen that move a couple times from ourselves. So quarterback, there's really no other option. Cam was the best. Josh Allen, super disappointing. I'm going to offer him a near minimum deal just as a backup in case. Well, not even just a backup, but just like a safety blanket, I suppose. So he could end up having to start, which would be really disappointing. Darius Geis is a free agent at 25 years old. Of the age, not bad at all. Don't need him, though. Dalvin's good enough. Michael Gallup is probably the best guy here. We do have Traquan Smith. I think you got to go Gallup, though. If you're going to go with one of them. I know it's, one of the moves that you see a lot because for some reason he gets let go a lot, but we need a number 1/number 2 wide receiver, and he obviously fits that well. He honestly is like almost like a Stephon Diggs clone at this point. Well, the whole point of this was to see if there was a quarterback in free agency or the draft. Free agency was a failure. The draft is the last option. And if there's none, I think we're going to call it there because I don't really know what else to say. Michael Gallup, of course, accepts college players. Any good quarterbacks? So we do see at least one decent one. Petrowski he's pretty good. Let's take a look at some of the other guys throwing power. Well, in my personal opinion, there is only one good quarterback, and even him, he's not very great. However, he is good enough for us to give it a go. So if he does get drafted by us, I'll be very happy. Ooh, Trey Waynes. Or Dre Waynes. Trey Waynes, isn't it? We got rid of him right out the gate, didn't we? That Dre Waynes guy is very good at wide receiver. This guy's very... Ooh, we can't really make a play at first, in the first round for a wide receiver. But that guy right there, Raymond King... And by Raymond, I mean Raymond, because words are very hard. Could be worth the pick. 7.0 tight end. That's not a very common guy. Obviously, we're not going to go for him, but I'd like to see him anyways. Need a new lineman, I believe. Actually, no, we re-signed the guy, so we don't need a new lineman, actually. Quarterback is probably worth a first-round pick. However, if he doesn't go in the first round, he could make a second-round entry, but I'm not going to really risk it if we have a chance. Do we trade up, though? He's not one of those guys that's really primed to be a top 10, top 15, top 20 pick, but if teams are desperate enough, I would say they probably would take him, would they not? I mean, really, looking at the team, I mean, I don't think we have much of a need. Obviously, we can always get better at O-line, but you're not going to find that really in the draft unless you're lucky. Wide receivers are fine for right now. Tight end is obviously one of the best in the league. Defensively, linebacking core probably could use an upgrade, but I don't know if we're going to find one. We'll look, I suppose. But really, it just comes down to that quarterback position, which is really eluded us. Kirk was okay, but once again, just choked it in the postseason. Josh Allen does decline, so we pretty much have all of our eggs in this quarterback basket, which is one of the worst classes we've seen in a while, leaving us with really only one option. At the very worst, maybe Malcolm here, but even he, I wouldn't really be super comfortable taking. I think it'd be a wasted pick. Typically, if a guy's still there was no one else really. Come on, Petrowski. He is not very good. He's a 76 overall. We're gonna give it a go though. We're gonna go to the second round here. If one of them, the other guys is there, we'll take him. Probably should have maybe made a little bit of a move up. I was kind of in my feelings because our quarterback was trash. Raymond King is definitely worth the pick. Apparently not actually. 73 overall. He's workable in a user league. In this league, he's just not going to start, it's simply put. Well, only thing left to do is take a look at the best quarterbacks. I'm going to assume Petrowski, even though it was a terrible class, was probably the best one unless there was a star dev guy. The other guy may have been better with star, but on paper, if you're looking at the both guys, I would say the guy that we went with was probably the better of the two. So let's take a look at the draft class. Obviously, we didn't take very many players. Quarterback is the one we are looking for. So, Dre Booth, 78 overall, quick dev. I mean, he's very similar. I don't know if he's better. Here's Valerial. Definitely better. What pick was he? He was 14, so even if we did want him, we wouldn't have gotten him. So he was definitely the better of the two, but neither were really guys that you would say, it's over. These guys are super beast. We've got the best guy we can get. So we're going to go for a backup running back, and honestly, that's probably all we can do at this point to really do anything about it. Might as well go to negotiations. This is year 5. It is very rare for us to go this many seasons into a rebuild. Tommy Gratz. I know he is a little on the older side, but it's not going to work trying to tag him every season. That's a little bit too late. Sheldon, that's definitely a deal worth doing for him. Kuntz, definitely worth the contract. We'll give him that deal. Got a couple of linemen that are possibly going to be on their way out because I don't think you can really give Darryl a 4-year deal at that age. Mahoney, maybe. Brian Rouse, I don't understand why he's being so undervalued. Pretty decent develop, actually, considering he's been number like 4 the whole time he's been on the team. Golston was a wasted talent for us. And, the rest of these guys kind of have to wait. Here we go, playoffs. We made it every single season. Can we do it again? We cannot. We go 7-9 with a youngster quarterback, an amazing team around him. At the end of the day, even with a bad quarterback like him, we should have still made the playoffs. We lost 3 straight, which obviously was huge. Could have been a 10-6 team, which I don't know if that would have even been enough anyways. Sean Watson's the MVP. Petrowski, it wasn't even that bad. What was his dev? He did not go up. He's an 80 overall. Rushing was terrible. Receiving, not terrible, honestly. Defensively, what do we got? Sack totals under, I don't know, bad. Just bad. Of course, another drop from Mike Hughes, who's just been a beast. Williamson, though, he kind of pulling that Mike Hughes card where he's just really just pumping out stats early on and becoming a great player. He went from a 75 overall corner to a 96 just like that. I mean, he's amazing. He's a safety converted corner. Packers would be jealous. And, we'll take a look at who wins the Super Bowl, but that's me. 5 seasons. We made 1 Super Bowl, didn't win a single one, with one of the best realistic rebuild teams we've ever made. So that's pretty fun to see. Watch the Bengals win, and they do not. But still, 95 overall. Kirk Cousins cucked us. He was doing so well, and then when we finally built literally almost the perfect team around him, he choked the playoffs away. He threw 4 picks, and we still won one of the games. It was like he was being paid to lose. And, of course, then we went with Cam. He wasn't much better. If anything, he was worse. Petrowski never got a chance in the postseason, but pretty similar regular season stats. So, chalk this one up to another EA Sim BS and just another underwhelming, underperformance of a team. If you enjoyed this, maybe leave a like. If you're new, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Jeromepkr. If you have any rebuild challenges or experiments, what ifs, whatever you want to call it, let me know in the comment section below. There's a good chance it'll happen. Not a whole lot of, there's some ideas, even when you're adding these ideas and you say, oh, you didn't do it yet. If it's a good idea, I put it down, I take a screenshot of it, and then we revisit it. So even if we're not getting a response for it, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!